Indian football once again finds itself in a classic catch-22. Every time the sport takes a step forward in this country, a new challenge pulls it 2 steps back. Right now, under coach Khalid Jamil, India is beginning to show signs of turning the corner. But just when the spirit was starting to rise, the Asian Games dream could vanish into thin air. Because the Indian government has decided only medal contenders would be sent for the Games. So the real question is, will this move cripple India's long-term footballing ambitions? Now let's take a step back here for a moment. After months of uncertainty, the Supreme Court gave the Indian Super League a much-needed green signal. Not a landmark reform, but a lifeline, because let's face it, without a stable domestic league, football in India doesn't have foundation. The ISL surviving means the sport survives. And to add to that, Khalid Jamil's start as national coach, 1 defeat in his first four matches, it has been a steady progress. Small but significant, enough to lift the morale of India's footballing community. But just as the system looked ready to stabilize and take a leap, the next roadblock seems to already have arrived. The government's new rule: only medal prospects go to multi-sport events. So this isn't just Asian Games, this applies to Commonwealth, Para-Asian, pretty much every event except the Olympics, of course. On paper, this seems logical. But here's the catch: the criteria is based on continental rankings. Teams in the top 8 get the nod. India's men's football team, it's 24th. Nowhere near the cutoff mark. And unless the government grants the AIFF an exemption here, the chances of India playing the Asian Games here are rather slim. Now, this is not the first time football has been left stranded like this. It happened back in 1994, again in 2018, and almost again in 2023. Last edition, after major back and forth, India was finally allowed to go and play. Go further back to 1998. The federation had to bear the cost themselves for this to happen. And if we roll back all the way to 1962, when India won gold in football at the Asian Games, guess what? They almost didn't even take part. At the last minute, the team was cleared and they went on to win gold. This is the frustrating journey of Indian football: denied, delayed, deprived. The question is, why now though, especially after India had its best ever Asian Games in 2023. India won a total of a record 107 medals, 28 golds, their best ever finish at 4th position. Instead of curbing participation, this was the time to do more. Give more chances, more representation, especially with India aiming to host an Olympics. India should aim at getting better at every sport. Yes, the football team did get knocked out of the round in the round of 16 the last time in the Asian Games. But this is about growth, not overnight miracles. Look at recent results. India shocked higher-ranked Tajikistan at the CAF Nations Cup. They went toe-to-toe with Oman. They finished 3rd in a tough campaign. Signs of progress, signs of promise. And progress can only turn into performance when players get consistent exposure on the big stage. So this decision isn't just about the Asian Games, it's about the future. Now imagine if the government in 1962 had said the same thing: no medal prospects, so no participation. That historic gold in football would never have come. India would have lost one of its proudest sporting moments. That's what's at stake here. AIFF Chief Kalyan Chaubey laid out a 10-year roadmap recently. But is that roadmap about dominating South Asia alone, or building a team that can compete with the world? Indian football doesn't just need investment in infrastructure, leagues and players. That's important, yes. It needs opportunities. It needs to be backed, not blocked. Because unless India allows its footballers to dream, to play and to compete on the biggest stages, the sport will remain stuck in the same cycle of promises and heartbreak. And maybe that's the real question we need to ask here. Does India really want football to grow into a bigger piece in the future? Or are we happy to keep celebrating the past while only hoping for a brighter future?
Firstpost now available in 9 languages on YouTube. English,
Stands at $36 trillion.
French,
Le FMI, comme
German,
Geschäftsführenden Direktoren,
Hindi,
$30 trillion kakarjo.
Indonesian,
Pemerintah tanpa pemeriksaan.
Italian,
Kali radikali.
Japanese,
$4 trilhão以上mo.
Portuguese,
Por causa do próprio balanço patrimonial.
Spanish.
Beautiful bill.
Go to Settings, click on Audio Track and select the language of your choice. Be the first to know what's happening around you in your first language. Firstpost.